Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. Here's a recap of our top stories from the week.
Hazleton area football coach Dennis Bookman has resigned. According to Hazleton area athletic director Fred Barletta, the coach submitted his resignation late Friday night after serving as the head coach since 2020. Over the past 5 seasons, Bookman compiled the 31-26 record with 2 Wyoming Valley Conference championships, 1 district sub-regional title, and 3 playoff appearances. Bookman did not give a specific reason for his stepping down, but said he felt that it was the right time. The school district is expected to post a position in the near future.
President Donald Trump has signed over 200 executive orders and actions during his first day back in the Oval Office. Some of the actions signed on Monday included pardoning the January 6th rioters, temporarily lifting the ban on TikTok, and declaring an emergency at the southern border. Trump also signed actions to designate drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, to declare a national energy emergency, and to withdraw from the World Health Organization. For a full list of President Trump's executive orders and actions, you can visit whitehouse.gov/presidential-actions.
Details on the Tuesday night shooting in Sugarloaf have been released, including the identity of the suspect. According to police, a man later identified as John Rabbits Jr. called 911 on Tuesday, January 21st, around 5:30 p.m., saying he was shot multiple times at his house on Mary L. Drive. Rabbits Jr. told police that someone knocked on his door, he answered, and was immediately shot multiple times, including twice in the chest before the suspect ran away. According to the affidavit, Rabbits Jr. told police that 27-year-old William Hunter Snyder wanted to hurt him before he became unconscious and was pronounced dead on the scene by the Luzerne County coroner. Through further investigation, detectives obtained text messages between Snyder and a woman Rabbits Jr. was dating at the time. The woman said she dated Snyder for 1 month in October of 2024 and ended the relationship, according to court documents. In the text between the two, police say Snyder continuously asked the woman to get back together. Authorities say the woman and Rabbits Jr. discussed Snyder's behavior, and the two bought a camera surveillance system for her home in Sunbury. According to the affidavit, video record shows Snyder going to the woman's home multiple times unannounced and uninvited. Nearby surveillance video around Rabbits Jr.'s home shows Snyder's car in the vicinity of the shooting, according to police. Snyder has been charged with homicide and remains in the Luzerne County Correctional Facility. His preliminary hearing is scheduled for February 6th. The murder trial for a Hazleton man accused of killing a convenience store clerk during the 2020 robbery has been rescheduled to this summer. 44-year-old Jafet de Jesus Rodriguez was scheduled to stand trial on criminal homicide charges earlier this month. However, the 2-week trial was delayed due to one of Rodriguez's attorneys getting sick. Following a hearing on Tuesday morning, Luzerne County Judge Michael T. Val rescheduled jury selection for June 6th, with the trial opening on June 9th. Rodriguez is charged with robbing and murdering convenience store clerk Ashikumar Patel during a holdup at Craig's Food Mart in Hazleton on December 12th of 2020. Rodriguez continues to be jailed without bail on charges of criminal homicide, robbery, burglary, theft, drug trafficking, conspiracy to commit drug trafficking, drug possession, and possessing drug paraphernalia. The Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce held their first in a series of red carpet luncheon events on Tuesday at the John M. Ford Bus Storage and Maintenance Facility in Hazel Township. The red carpet luncheons are a series of monthly events where guests are invited to speak with chamber members regarding the local business community and offer opportunities for networking and expansion. This month's guest was Hazleton Mayor Jeff Cassett, as he presented a year in review of all the accomplishments done in the city of Hazleton throughout 2024. Mayor Cassett was joined by Barry Isett and Associates Incorporated, who has also made an impact in developing various projects in the city. Cassett spoke with us about the collaboration between the city of Hazleton and Barry Isett.
Barry Isett is our engineer, and we've collaborated on many projects in the 9 years that I've been here. Parks and recreation, the playgrounds, the street problem, programs, the stormwater management. And so we've worked with them on many projects throughout the city, in many different areas.
Mayor Gazette also shared some details on what to expect in 2025.
We're looking to expand the all-inclusive playground for a separate section for 2 to 5-year-olds. We're looking at finishing some of the other recreation projects, the completion of David Avenue, which is then going to open up some new residential areas for people to be able to build in. Cunahan Drive is going to be a new facelift on the industrial park. So there's a couple of projects like that that are going on right now in the works. And we're also looking to plan a very large-scale paving plan. So we're working with the financing to be able to handle that project this year.
Events like the Red Carpet Luncheon give the mayor and other officials the opportunity to inform the people and businesses of Hazleton about the progress made by the city.
Well, it's very important that they all get together and see the progress that the city's making, and let them know that the city is trying to get focused on everybody's concerns and needs. A lot of people have different types of needs, and something like this is where it could all be generated and put in the front.
The John M. Ford Bus Storage and Maintenance Facility is located at 5200 Old Airport Road in Hazel Township. Coming up on WYLN News, Chris Fulmer takes us down the path through history with Whitehaven Part 4. Plus, we check in with State Representative Dane Watrow on Watrow's weekly update. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute, the region's only nationally ranked hospital. We turn setbacks into comebacks one movement at a time. Learn more at lvhn.org/ortho or 833-LV-ORTHO.
My name is Andy, and tomorrow's going to be partly cloudy.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts, just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today. If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Cheers Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in at 610 North Broad Street in West Hazleton, 570-454-7229. Cheers is proud to be celebrating 70 years in business.
You will love the feel-good feeling you get when you shop at Grand Central in Nesquebec and Hazleton. You will enjoy a no-pressure professional sales staff, experienced delivery crew, service after the sale,
and don't forget, everyday low prices.
No matter what you're shopping for in your home, we have you covered with top brand names like Flex Steel, Lazy Boy, England, and Dillon Custom Rugs.
With our enormous selection and the flexibility to finance interest-free for up to 60 months, Grand Central makes it easy to make your house a home.
Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the WYLN News Midday Update, posted daily between noon and 2 p.m., powered by Lehigh Valley Health Network. When it's serious, there's only one health network with seriously innovative health institutes. Lehigh Valley Health Network, your health deserves a partner. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. Hey, did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, fresh from the farm, everyday heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network.
As World War I wound down to its conclusion in late 1918, Whitehaven and the rest of the United States welcomed a return to normal from a world ravaged by conflict. Residents of the town would get to witness one of their own assume a place in the highest reaches of government at this time. Alexander Mitchell Palmer had been born near Whitehaven in 1872. He had begun his career as a lawyer in Stroudsburg in 1893 in John Storm's law firm. Interested in politics, he was first elected to Congress in 1909, where he would serve 3 terms and served in such positions as vice chairman of the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee and as a strong member of the House Ways and Means Committee. During his 3rd term, he became chairman of the Democratic House Caucus, in which position he championed tariff reductions. Palmer left Congress in 1915, but by October 1917 was appointed by Woodrow Wilson to head the Office of Alien Property Custodian, in which he was authorized to seize property in the U.S. belonging to the Central Powers. At the beginning of 1919, he was elevated to Attorney General and would serve in this position for 2 years. This was the era of the Red Scare, triggered by the Bolshevik takeover of Russia, and in which Americans saw perceived signs of communism behind the numerous strikes, race riots, and bombings that broke out across the country following the war. Palmer himself was not immune from the mayhem, as his house received a pair of mail bombs in early 1919, believed to have been sent by disciples of Italian anarchist Luigi Galliani, that he and his family narrowly escaped. Determined to strike back, Palmer in November 1919 authorized federal roundups of suspected anarchists and communist sympathizers. What became known as the Palmer Raids remain controversial today, with many of the thousands that were arrested being detained without search warrants and held in overcrowded prisons. Labor unions were also targeted heavily during the raids, with Palmer invoking the Wartime Lever Act to try and stamp out a proposed coal miner strike that he thought had communist backing. While the raids had firm public support from the at first, eventually a backlash grew, particularly after a mass uprising that Palmer had predicted on May Day 1920 failed to materialize. By then, Assistant Secretary of Labor Louis Freeland Post, who disapproved of the raids, had canceled more than 2,000 arrest warrants as being illegal, and the American Civil Liberties Union had been founded by concerned citizens to protect Americans' rights as a direct result of the raids. The backlash ultimately proved an albatross for Palmer when he chose to run for president later in 1920, as he finished well behind Ohio Governor James Cox in the final Democratic primary. After leaving office at the end of the Wilson administration, Palmer returned to private law practice. He died in 1936 and today rests in Stroudsburg's Laurelwood Cemetery. Several decades later, another former Whitehaven resident made his mark in government at both the federal and state levels, although not in Pennsylvania. John Dempsey was born in Whitehaven in 1879. Originally having trained as a telegraph operator, he would climb the employment ladder to become vice president of the Brooklyn Rapid Transit Company. Moving to Oklahoma in 1919 to enter the oil business, Dempsey became vice president of the Continental Oil and Asphalt Company. Another move to New Mexico soon followed, and with it, a stint in charge of the United States Asphalt Company, as well as a term as president of the University of New Mexico's Board of Regents. Dempsey entered politics in 1933, serving as New Mexico's state director of the Federal Housing Administration and National Emergency Council. He was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives in 1935 and served through 1941, when he relinquished his seat to unsuccessfully run for the Senate. Dempsey did not stay out of work for long, as he was named Undersecretary of the Interior in 1941. He served in this post for a year before resigning to run for New Mexico's governorship. He would subsequently defeat Republican candidate Joseph Terreros to become New Mexico's 13th governor. Dempsey served in this post through 1947 and was in office when the first atomic bomb was tested in the desert near Alamogordo on July 16, 1945. Dempsey returned to the House of Representatives in 1951 and remained there until his death in 1958. Back in Whitehaven, life continued. By the 1960s, Interstate 80 was built just south of the borough. The route would eventually stretch across the nation from New York to San Francisco, thus opening Whitehaven to the entire country. It was underneath the interstate's bridge over the Lehigh River that a dismembered body was found in several suitcases on December 20th, 1976, prompting an investigation that drew national headlines due to the brutality of the murder. At first, investigators were unable to identify the victim, who had been pregnant at the time of her death, and the case remains unsolved for decades thereafter. Finally, in 2021, she was identified as Evelyn Colon of Jersey City, New Jersey, and Luis Sierra, who was identified as the father of her unborn child, was charged with her murder. The Lehigh River would bring more positive attention to Whitehaven in the following years. All have been mostly quiet in the Lehigh Gorge south of town ever since the Central Railroad of New Jersey had abandoned its rail line through the gorge in 1972. The trees had largely grown back from the gorge from the days of heavy timber industry in the area, and the state of Pennsylvania realized it would be the perfect site for a new state park. They bought the land from the railroad, and what became known as Lehigh Gorge State Park opened in 1980. Today the park offers guests, many of whom can enter it directly from Whitehaven, ample opportunity for hiking, rafting, and fishing in what is now the same natural wonderland it was when Whitehaven's first settlers arrived in the region.
Welcome back to Feel Good Friday. I'm joined here with Dr. John. Dr. John, how's it going?
Brian, I thank you for taking time out of your life to come to my office.
Oh, I love coming here. So today we're going to talk about New Year's resolutions because Happy New Year. It's the
Happy
start of
New Year.
2025.
You're right.
We're a couple of days in, and people want to stick with the resolutions, and it's very hard, but you're going to give us some tips on how to stick with it.
I heard on TV the second Friday of January, whatever that date is when most people give up their resolutions. Many people in life, if you look at great athletes, number one, write down your resolutions, Ryan. Write down your goals in life. I wrote down way back in high school that I want to be a chiropractor. I want to come to Hazleton and become the busiest chiropractor. So write down your goal. They say to read it every day. Say it out. So let's say it's, we'll talk about this next time. I want to lose 40 pounds, let's say. Read it every day, and it sort of keeps people motivated. So don't give up after the second Friday of January. If you read it every day, right, and make little goals one step at a time, I believe any goal can be achieved, but don't give up on your dreams. And we'll talk next time maybe more about even further how to stay with those goals.
Yep, that we will, and I'd like to thank Dr. John for joining us on this Feel Good Friday. We'll see you next time.
Third Base Luncheonette, still making memories after all these years.
Are you looking for a trustworthy publishing company to publish your book? One that understands the process and upholds Christian values in its business practices?
Introducing Covenant Books, an author-friendly publisher who shares your beliefs and wants to publish your story. Call us today to get a free author packet to help get you started.
We realize your book is unique, personal, and written with a higher purpose. That's the content we're looking for.
We provide authors freedom and flexibility throughout the publishing process with professional book editing, award-winning design, and some of the highest royalty structures in the industry.
Covenant distributes and sells your book online and in bookstores everywhere. We convert your book in ebook format and sell it on Amazon, Apple iTunes, and to these distributors. Our authors love us.
So if you've written a biography, a devotional, a memoir, self-help, or any genre, we can help. Be like these authors and get your book published and sold today.
Call right now for your free writer's guide.
1-800-215-3680.
This week on Let's Talk Chiropractic, Mark Steller had pain for months. Wasn't happy with his chiropractic results. He came here. We're going to show you a video of how we got his back fixed. Stay tuned.
This is State Representative Dane Watrow of the 116th Legislative District with some news you can use. 6 new license plates honoring the service of Pennsylvania veterans are now available from PennDOT. 3 of the new plates recognize service members who received medals or honors for individual achievements or deployments. They include Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Medal Plate, Operation Inherent Resolve Veterans Plate, and the Congressional Gold Medal Registration Plate. The other 3 new plate designs recognize women veterans. 2 are available for motorcycles, and the 3rd is for passenger cars or trucks with a registered gross weight of not more than 14,000 pounds. They include the Honoring Our Women Veteran Motorcycle Registration Plate and the Women Veteran Registration Plate. To learn more about all license plate options, fees, and how to apply for them, visit www.pa.gov.
Express Care. Walk in and you walk into the region's most trusted health network.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600. WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969.
Hello, I'm WYLN historian Chris Fulmer. Pennsylvania's communities are filled with interesting history. Come with me as we discover the people, events, industries, and other historic facets of local towns.